excited at the Elevate Your Style with Amari Magazine and this gorgeous, sexy, hot mama, Sonia. I don't want to mess up your last name, so tell us how you say your last name.
Kiani.
Kiani. Sonia Kiani. I like that. Sounds like a wine. I like it.
It is a wine, but it's Persian.
I love it. That's so beautiful. Well, okay, so Sonia and I have started becoming friends and getting to know each other, and I love you because you are famously known as, let me make sure I say it right, the Forever, exactly, Forever Untamed on social media. So share with us more about being Forever Untamed.
Well, the tattoo's in my mouth. So
Okay, it is? Inside? Did that hurt?
It oddly didn't. It really didn't hurt.
You're brave. You're brave.
I mean, it stayed on for like 10 years. It was funny because I think it was, so I came up with that when I was in San Diego, going through what I had gone through, battling domestic violence, and I was living in my car, and it was kind of one of those things where when I had to get away from that relationship, it was like, it is the only thing that I can do. It's me, myself, and I, because he was telling me, you know, you're going to run back to your parents, you're nothing without me. And so for me to be able to, I don't like to get my parents involved because to them, I felt like it would make them feel like they fail in a way. So it's like, I'm just going to do it myself, and I'm going to prove to you that I can do it on myself. Lived in my car. No one knew about anything, but I think during that time was when it was kind of like that alter ego where you really need something to survive.
Yes.
And I've been wearing this ring literally for 12 years. It doesn't say anything on it anymore, but it used to say all the strength that you need is inside you. And that's kind of where the Untamed comes from, where, you know, no one can let you, or not allowing anyone to have the power over you. Yes. So you can be whoever you want to be. Yes. And so Untamed was born. I
love that. And I know you and I briefly talked about that, and I can relate to that. When 4 years ago, I had a heart attack due to a stressful relationship I was in. And the same thing, at the night I was in the hospital, I didn't even call my parents because I didn't want them to know. I was embarrassed by the whole thing. So I can completely understand what you're talking about. So I know there's people out there listening or watching right now that maybe they're in a domestic violence situation. What advice would you give them?
I think that's one of the important things was for me, you know, to not be embarrassed. And that's why I want to talk about the campaign that I'm doing, the Beauty Before Bullying, where, you know, no matter what you're going through, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And I just started talking about this maybe this year when we did the article with Amari, because again, I was protecting my family, but I feel like by protecting them, I'm doing a disservice to everyone who may be going through it. And it is embarrassing because as I don't want to say alpha, but someone who's very proud and like alpha female, you don't want to admit that someone had power over you, and for them to have the control over you, and for you to be in that situation, because you're like, how could I even put myself in that situation? So you can't think about it that way. You have to know that you have a choice to make a change. So you're not stuck in that situation. And that was the thing where, you know, I was so dependent on him, and I didn't even know how to look for an apartment. Like I moved out of my parents' house straight into that relationship. And for me to figure it out on my own, it was empowering. It was when, like I said, the birth of Untamed. So don't be afraid. You have to. It's your chance. Whoa! Someone got excited. They're rooting me on. But you know what I mean? You have to say no. Don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to make a change. It is scary to make a change and the unknown. But you have to be brave for yourself. Because honestly, like, for me, if I didn't do it, I would have died. Like, he would have killed me. And it's like, it's the best thing I did. It was scary, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
Well, I can say, woman to woman, I'm so proud of you and what you overcame, and you faced your fears and you did it anyways. And now you're sitting here tonight. You look amazing and beautiful as always.
I think that's the message, where it's no matter what you're going through, you will make it. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
Because we all that's why I love talking with Natalie, that, you know, she battled her addiction, and it's something that we all go through, and that's why in social media I love to be transparent, because we tend to show what everybody wants to see. We live a life. What is it? I wish everybody can actually live the life that they pretend to live on social media, where I try to at least be more transparent and authentic, where it's like, hey, you know what, don't believe everything you see, because we all struggle. We all have our demons. And so you just got to do it for yourself. And that's the hard part, because I feel like we always put everyone else ahead of ourselves, family. And until you do it for yourself, nothing's going to change.
Well, and you're absolutely right. Christy Buss and I were just talking about that, and a few of the other people I've been interviewing about social media, and that it's important that we're also showing the authentic side of us to show that we're real people. We work smart, we play hard, you know, we can do it both, and we do have struggles, and we go through ups and downs and challenges. So, and I know one of the things you do is your mission is to inspire and educate women through your seminars. So tell us a little bit more about your seminars.
So I fell in love with makeup because it gives me, so I say makeup's my art, but education's my passion.
Yeah.
To be able to make women feel beautiful, because when I look at someone's face, I can see, I want them to see themselves through my eyes, because we all have our insecurities. We are great at nitpicking our insecurities or what we don't like about ourselves. So I see them in a different light. So I want them to see themselves through my eyes. And to be able to give someone that confidence, I love it. And to be able to inspire them, empower them to love themselves. I put myself out there when I do my seminars or through social media, is, you know, my failures. Like I had cake today. I'll be at the gym tomorrow, but I had that cake. But like I literally have 365 day ones. Every day is a day one. But when I travel, I want to be able to relay that message, because I love doing makeup, and through something that's it's so minimal, but it is a small empowerment to be able to make yourself feel good on the outside. It really does change the inside. Like people say, you know, beauty comes from within, and it really does, but it comes from that self-care, the self-empowerment, and self-confidence. So if you can do anything to, you know, boost that self-confidence, that's where it starts. So I love changing that with makeup, and then just traveling and talk about my story, which I think I was more reserved. So when I do my seminars, I get to interact with women. I get to, you know, hear their stories, and you build that connection. And I want to have my Untamed babes all over, where it's like I just want everyone to just own it. And I love when I hear messages when they're like, because of you, I own my curves. Because of you, it's funny because I used to joke, well, I wouldn't wear makeup, and I was like, own your ugliness. And I was like, who cares? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I think one of the most important things that I've done, if you're at social media or my seminars, is once you turn your weaknesses into strength, no one has power over you. And that's the Untamed, where because no one can make fun of the things that I've already made fun of. I already know my insecurities. I already know where I, you know what I mean, my weaknesses are. And I've turned those into strengths. And that's what I want people to see. It's like, hey, I still struggle through all of it, even with the seminars. So it's great to be able to have that interaction in person, because social media, you can only do so much.
I love it.
So when you meet people, it's definitely a different world.
Yeah, well, thank you for doing that. Thank you for getting out there and facing your fears and bringing this type of awareness to other people.
It's scary, but it's a good fear. You know what I mean?
I get it.
Because you're worried about, you know, the backlash that you may get, but it's like, you know what? If I can change one person's life through my journey, then it's all worth it.
It is definitely all worth it. So you're giving to give. I love it. So thank you so much for taking the time. I know there's a party going on, so I'll let you go back and enjoy. She's got her fan.
My #1 fan.
Yeah, that's right. Literally.
She goes with me everywhere.
Yeah, I got to get me one of those. So.
I will get you one for sure.
Thank you so much, Sonia. I appreciate your time. It was great.
Thank you.